Hey, hello everyone, and welcome to How to Become an Interpreter. In today's How to Become an Interpreter webinar, I will be going over the key points as to what you need, how to start, the potential there is in this industry, and if this is the right career and business for you. This training is also focused on helping entrepreneurs just like you on how to understand the industry, what it takes, and share some insider secrets. So let's move ahead. So let's start off by saying buenas tardes or good afternoon, whatever language you speak, because I'm sure those of you that are joining me speak a different language, maybe one or two, right? As for me, I am bilingual. I speak English and Spanish. So I am not sure what time it is in your area, but I'm sure somewhere in your neck of the woods, it's afternoon, right? So let's move along. So let's make things happen. So before we get started, let's make sure that you are comfortable, you have a pen and a paper, you have your water, coffee, tea, or even a mimosa. Get ready to take some notes, and we will definitely start on time, and I want you to make sure that you are focused. We are going to cover all the topic areas. Make sure that you write down any questions that you may have, and feel free to send me an email. And finally, I want to make sure that everyone feels safe. This is a professional, respectful space. So let's make sure that we all act in a professional and respectful manner. So welcome once again. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Faviola Valencia Aranda. I was born in the early 70s in beautiful Michoacan, Mexico. How many of you have been to Mexico? It's a beautiful place, right? I was raised in San Jose. I am married. I have 4 amazing children, and I am a proud Navy mom. I am also a sister to 5 brothers. Yes, 5 brothers. So, a little bit about me. I started from the comfort of my spare bedroom with a dream, which soon came into a reality in 2000. I was just like you know, with no experience, probably helping friends and family, but I did have some business experience. I helped my father with his upholstery business. Around about the age about 10 years old, I helped him answer the phones. You know, I was kind of his receptionist. By the time I was 18, I became an office manager for a new construction cleanup company. And of course, just like many of you, throughout the years, I gained various skills as well as a trade. And so I did have, ended up building some business experience. And I think, like many of you, as a child, we all dream of doing something with our lives, and we all have this vision of becoming somebody, right? So my vision was always to become a business owner. I've always been or consider myself to be very responsible. I'm more of a go-getter type of gal. So, you know, I want to say around 14, I started with this dream of just wanting to build a business, wanting to grow up to be like my father, an entrepreneur. So I really didn't envision myself, working for somebody else. And that's basically not something that was in my plans. And thank God, for over 22 years, yes, 22 years this year, I've been in business. And so, bottom line, you know, um, if you have a dream, if you have a vision, if you have skills, or you want to do something, the best way to get it is, utilizing your skills or getting trained and developing those skills. And so, just a quick story, one day, how I started basically is one day I was at the hospital. I was with my mother, kind of being her interpreter at the time. Believe it or not, I didn't even know that that was an actual term, an actual career. And so, while we are waiting, I see this interaction between, two people and the doctor. And so I waited, and I found it very interesting. So I waited until they were done, and yes, I did approach her. I approached the gal with the badge and of, kind of being nosy. And so just asked her, what she was doing. And so she told me, oh, I'm a Russian interpreter. And so here we are. The rest is history. We'll move along and I'll let you know a little bit more about my story. Alrighty? So one of the things that I want to touch on, because these are, frequently asked questions. So before I respond to that, this training is for you. If you're already working as a professional interpreter, but maybe need help with certain aspects of your business, or maybe if you're bilingual and you want to explore and enter the world of interpreting translation over the phone or be your own boss, and you're not sure where to start or what to do. And so a lot of the questions that I get is, do I need to recruit or subcontract interpreters to help me out? Do I need to hire somebody? Can I start my own business? And how do I start? Is interpreting and translation an actual career that I can utilize it and start my own business, be my own boss? Is there growth potential and can I get my own clients? And the answer to all of that is yes, you can do it all. Obviously, everything takes training and development. It takes the knowing how to do it, the implementation, the creating the foundation, and literally, working your way up. So it's not impossible. So like I mentioned before, I started my business from the ground up, literally from the ground up, with zero experience in this field. But with a lot of research, training, and development, I was able to develop a six-figure business in under a year. So bottom line, I was able to achieve that honestly within 3 months. Within 3 months, I was able to incorporate all of my skills, knowledge, build on my experience and my qualification, and I was able to build a six-figure language service agency. And with my help, I can help you do the same. So first things first, I want to ask you this question and I want you to self-analyze because a lot of you who have outreached or, reached out to me regarding starting a business, many of you are unfamiliar with the difference of translation versus interpreting. You're not familiar with the modes of interpretation, the type of translations, who needs our services, how much can you make? These are all frequently asked questions that many of you ask. And so, for example, translation, it's obviously in written. Some of the examples are documents, immigration, manuals, medical data, prescriptions, every day-to-day forms. The interpreting, it includes person, in-person interpreting as well as over the phone and video interpreting. And right now with the pandemic, many of you who are familiar with the industry, many of you have pivoted over to the over the phone as well as to video interpretation. So to answer your question, there is room to start your own business utilizing your skills, but it's something that it's going to take time while we decipher and analyze your skill sets to be able to see, okay, which niche is going to work best for you, what are your skill sets, and how we can best utilize them to start your own business, create a small business, entrepreneurship, freelancing, independent contractor, or even a corporate business. Another frequently asked question that I get is, do you have to be certified to be able to become an interpreter and translator? And the short answer is no. Just like with anything else, you need to build on your skill set. You need training and development. You need to gain the experience to be able to open up those doors and enter this industry. But Obviously, being certified, it opens up more doors for you to be able to work in a variety of settings. But you can definitely start your own career as well as your business without that legal medical certification. Again, I want to stress this enough that you need training and development and experience in order to understand how this industry works, in order to be able to tap into different business sectors, in order to be able to market and sell your services. Being bilingual is great, but you obviously need more than just speaking a second or more languages in order for you to become a professional interpreter. You need basic interpreting skills, training, terminology, learn the different modes of interpretation, learning the do's and don'ts of the industry, learning the business sectors to really develop those skills and terminology to be able to flourish in this industry. So, as previously mentioned, I am going to talk about the interpreting industry, the benefits, as well as about who I am, what I do, what I provide, how I can help you, and the requirements that are very important for this industry. It's so important for you guys to understand and learn more about it in order for you to determine whether or not that you're on the right path or this is the right career and business for you. So one of the things that many of you have asked as well, those of you that want to start a small language agency or even a corporate agency, one of the things that you need to understand is that you need to be able to recruit strong pool of interpreters in order for you to be able to fulfill any potential contract that you may get. That's if you want to work as a small business or a language agency. Now, if you are working for yourself, when you are seeking contracts, you also need to make sure that you are getting contracts, those that you're going to be able to fulfill on your own. You also want to enhance your interpreting portfolio, being able to recruit and train and contract potential candidates in a variety of languages if you're going to seek those contracts that require additional languages. You need to be able to provide a clear understanding of the opportunities, not only that you are seeking, but that you're going to be offering through your translation and interpretation business. So it's super important that you self-analyze yourself to see, okay, do I really want to start a small or corporate business language agency right now? Or do I want to, start off as a freelancer, getting my foot in the door and being able to get small contracts, being able to work either with agencies or build my portfolio with small clients versus jumping into this big, you know, uh, big size corporate business without really having the knowledge, experience, or expertise to be able to do that. Now, when it comes to the language agency services, there is opportunities for all languages, and the country is becoming so diverse. For example, here in California and Sacramento, there is such a huge population when it comes to Spanish. There's others like Arabic, there is Russian, Ukrainian, there's Chinese, Cantonese, Mandarin. So, depending on what language pairs you can offer on your own, you want to do that market research to see what's available in your area. Now, if you're looking into, again, starting your own small agency or your language agency, and you're going to be offering these additional languages, you want to be prepared. You want to recruit, train that pool of interpreters that are going to represent you as well as your business the right way. Now, this job growth here that you're looking at, this is an old, obviously from 2008, but I want to show you something because I think this is super important. For those of you that went through the whole economic crisis during this time, many of you would, experienced a huge decrease in the services. But those of you that got contracts with the state, county, and federal, when there was those government closures or shutdowns, however you want to call it, you're basically, if you're putting all your eggs in one basket, then most likely you were impacted. And those of you that have been following me, I was one of those. I put all my eggs in one basket. And so when this happened, it did affect my business. So it's super important that you understand that when you're starting your business that we're covering all bases. So everything that I teach you in my trainings and my programs is based upon the things that I went through, how I improved it, how, what things that I do to implement to avoid those things from happening again. Because, if we don't learn from our mistakes, then we're bound to repeat them again, right? So thank God, even though it was a very difficult time for me during that time frame, I learned from those lessons and I was able to incorporate a variety of things into my business. So now with the pandemic, thank God it did not phase me, it did not affect me. And as a matter of fact, my business has been growing even more when it comes to, the interpreting and translation service side. So it's super important that you understand, that you prepare, that you implement certain processes and procedures in order to help your business. On this chart here, again, this is from 2008, you'll see that there was a huge increase, and this industry, it's a billion-dollar industry, and you can do your own research, check the statistics, check the data online, and you'll see that the growth potential for this industry is growing day by day. The more diversity that we have coming into the country, the more our services are needed across the board. So this is the time for you to tap into this industry, for you to get the training and development that you need in order for you to start and pivot your business the right way. Now, as you see here, these earnings are from 2008, but compared to 2008 and now, even with the pandemic, all of these rates have doubled. Most interpreters right now who are working full time are making about six figures. And granted, a lot of these interpreters are, working in different business sectors. They are available, some of them, depending on the niche, and I want to make that clear, depending on the business sector that you're tapping into, it makes a huge difference on the amount that you will make on a yearly basis. Now, it's not to say that it's not impossible. Again, another thing that I want to also include on there is that if you become certified and you work your path to the certification down the line, um, your growth potential is going to get even higher, because nowadays, if, for example, if you want to work in a hospital, they're going to ask, 9 out of 10 times, they're going to ask for that medical certification. But before you decide you want to go into, spending all this time and money on a certification or similar to a degree, you want to make sure that this is the right industry for you. You want to make sure that you have the skill sets, the experience, and that this is the right career for you. Because just like, I tell my kids, and those of you who have spent years and time and money going in for a degree just to find out, 5 years later that that was not the career for you. So now you spent all this time, money, and effort on a degree that you hate, right? So I want to make sure that you enter this industry, get a feel for it, understand it, get trained, and really just make that determination and that that judgment call, 6 months from now, a year from now, and say, oh, you know what? I love this industry, and oh, I thought I was going to love the medical industry, but I actually love the legal industry instead. So that way you can, self-analyze your skill sets and then determine, okay, you know what? I think I'm going to pursue a medical certification or a court certification degree. But you want to make sure that you are really self-analyzing your skills and seeing where you want to be in the next 2 to 5 years. Now, if you see these rates here, you're going to be like, whoa, $15 an hour. Unfortunately, yeah, it's the sad truth. It comes down to if you are working for an agency, you're pretty much at the mercy of the agency if you are not familiar with sales and marketing, how to, create your terms and conditions, how to do the outreach, how to market yourself, how to ask for a good rate, then you're pretty much kind of stuck. I know that many of you who I've spoken to who are now in my program that are just recently, became certified as a medical interpreter, and you're working for agencies making $15, $20 an hour. Well, if you are working for example, at a hospital 6 to 8 hours, it might not be a bad rate depending on, the area that you live in. But if you live in California making $15 an hour and you're certified, then boy, you're in the wrong industry. And obviously you're doing something wrong because your rate, your worth should be that much higher. Regarding translations, some of you have asked me regarding, okay, what's the good rate to charge? And again, I touch on this in my programs because it takes a lot to really incorporate your rates, your terms, and this is just a ballpark of what to expect when you do not know how to sell and promote and market your services. These are the rates that you're going to look at. And I think many of you will agree, right? So you want to be able to make 30 to 60 to 100 plus an hour. You want to be able to make 20 to 25 to 30 cents per word. But in order for you to do that, you need to gain that experience, build on your qualifications, get the right plan, incorporate the right procedures, learn the sales and marketing to be able to market yourself as an experienced and professional interpreter. So what are the benefits of becoming an interpreter or translator, and basically utilizing your bilingual skills? Well, the fact of the matter is that you can become your own boss. Literally right now with the pandemic, you can literally work from wherever because a lot of the clients are only allowing services to be provided via Zoom or over the phone. There's a huge industry and growth potential, as well as your income, depending on how much you know, how to market yourself, how to position yourself in this industry. And the benefits of it is, you become your own, you become self-employed, you can become a subcontractor, you can become a small business, a corporate business. So there's so much opportunities utilizing your bilingual skills. So just a little bit more about who I am. So basically, when I first started, as I mentioned, I started off as a solopreneur. I was just providing Spanish and English services to the community. Within, I want to say about a month through referrals, I was able to build a language agency. I became, got the right licenses and certifications to be a small certified business, and basically provided services domestically and abroad. I offered over 100 languages, including ASL in different dialects. And so bottom line, we want to be able to bridge that gap in communication. And so as a small corporate agency, I was able to bridge that gap. And so it just takes so much that you need to understand as a business. You have to be able to draft contracts, scheduling, recruiting, administration, billing, being able to learn on how to market and sell and promote and get the right contracts in order for you to grow your business. Now, fast forward, I am still providing language services. Just Spanish and English. I no longer provide those additional languages. I'm currently just providing services locally. Um, I still hold my licenses and certifications as a small business. And, I still utilize a lot of the forms and templates and processes that I utilized in my corporate business into my small business. So when you sign up with me, we basically help you with everything when it comes to booking, the billing, the promoting, the selling, the marketing, everything that you need as a solopreneur, entrepreneur, small business, corporate business, because you need to understand and learn the ins and outs of the industry as well as the business world. My clientele still includes the medical, legal, government, general business sectors. I still sometimes do hospital appointments, the pre-ops, post-ops. I do chiropractic appointments, physical therapy, evaluations. The legal, I do a lot of civil litigations, trials, and even depositions. And I am not a certified interpreter. But again, it comes down to how you position yourself as a professional interpreter. The skills and the qualifications, the know-how is super important in order for you to be able to expand those wings and be able to market yourself as a professional. So there is so much opportunity, different niches that you can tap into, sectors that you can tap into. But it's knowing how to do so. Those of you that have asked, okay, so should I work with agencies? Do I need to be my own boss? Well, here's the thing, that when you're working with agencies, there's obviously you're not picking up those costs for marketing, billing, recruiting, and you're not dealing with all of the back end administration, right? You're basically, all you need to do is answer your phone, make yourself available to the agency, and then provide your invoice, and boom, wait for your payment to come in. Now, one thing that you need to also understand is that there's different agencies out there, and really understanding on how to read those terms and conditions and their contracts, because every agency has their own contracts, their own stipulations. And when you sign that dotted line, you're basically agreeing to those stipulations, such as, okay, your payment's going to be 30 to 60 to 90 days, or even you'll get paid when the client pays me. And so as a business owner, because those of you working as independent contractors, let me say this again, independent contractors, you are in business for yourself. So you need to act as a professional business. So if an agency doesn't pay you or a client doesn't pay you, are you going to go knocking on the client's door? No, there's different methods as a professional to hopefully, get those monies that are owed to you. But again, it comes down, and I cannot stress this enough, and you're going to hear this all the time. It comes down to knowing the ins and out of the business world. Now, the difference of being your own boss and having your own clients, you're basically going to have to do some, legwork, such as sales and marketing, billing, recruiting, if you're going to be offering other languages, and so on and so forth, and just staying on top, making sure that you're filing your taxes on time, that you have the licenses and information accurately for your industry, and so on and so forth. So here are some of the basic requirements. Being fluent in both the English, the source and the target language, I should say. Have 2 or more years of relevant experience, be familiar with certain terminology, whether it be the medical, legal, or general business field, abide by HIPAA requirements, rules and regulations, the Interpreter's Code of Ethics and Professional Conduct, have a high school or GED, have a driver's license. A lot of companies ask you to provide a DMV printout or TBT test, having the right licenses, background checks, and a lot more. There's so many other requirements that you need to have in order to be a professional interpreter. So if you want to enter this world of interpreting and translation, here's some of the basic startup costs. I know many of you guys are operating without a business license. And let me tell you, if the city, county, your state finds out, you are going to be in big trouble. The other one is business insurance, making sure that you are protecting yourself as well as your business. Again, some companies require background checks, so some of these are just basic startup costs. As you move along, depending on what you want to be, small agency, corporate business, freelancer, there's different costs involved, and so we will go over those if you decide to join me. So a quick summary: speaking 2 or more languages, source and target language, experience of more than 2 years, learning the terminology, being HIPAA compliant, having a valid driver's license, a phone, something I didn't put on there, a phone, having your DMV printout, your business license, insurance, because depending on your clients' requirements, and then you need to make sure that you have those basic requirements in place when you decide you want to start getting contracts. So what have you learned? You've learned the difference between interpreting and translations. You learned a little bit more about me, how I got started, being self-employed and the growth potential, being your own boss, the services that can be provided both domestically and internationally, being able to offer different languages, the ability of getting that training that you need, the right certifications, and licensing, insurance that you need, because many of you are probably not familiar with these items, and many of you are probably still struggling in growing your business because you don't have a lot of these things in place. So when you join any of my programs, my top 2 programs, basically we go over, we analyze your business and kind of get a feel of, okay, what you have, what you need, what we need to incorporate, and really dive down in making sure that you have everything in place in order for you to position yourself as a professional and experienced interpreter or translator. Is interpreting a good niche? Of course it is. You get paid for being bilingual, right? So utilize those skills. You can become self-employed, an entrepreneur, a freelancer. You have flexible hours. You pick and choose the hours and days that you want to work. There is huge growth potential. If you decide you want to work with agencies because it's a better fit for you, that's okay. I'll help you and guide you to make sure that you, sign up with the right agencies, that you really incorporate those terms and conditions when you are seeking work with agencies so that they're not nickeling and diming you. Because basically they do all the dirty work, they do all the back end work. So these are things that you don't have to handle on your end. And at the end of the day, they provide, that free marketing because they're doing the work and not you, versus as a solopreneur, entrepreneur, small business, corporate business, you're having to do all of the back end work. And if you're ready to, take on that challenge and ready to just basically, all hands on deck and learn the ins and outs of the business and the industry, then let's get going, right? So here's 3 top references that I want you to research. The ATA, which is an organization that has been around for many, many years, as well as CHIA. CHIA is more having to do with the healthcare interpreting the medical field, and then the Department of Labor, which provides us all of those numbers of how the potential growth is going. You know, if there's a potential niche for this industry, and so on and so forth. So make sure that you write these down. Take a look for yourself, so that you can confirm, you know, those numbers as far as, you know, wages and opportunities, and as far as certifications, so that you can tap into this industry. Well, finally, thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for joining me. Thank you for taking the time and, you know, signing up and to really understand and learn a little bit more about this industry. And so now the $20 million question for you is this the right career and business for you? Do you have what it takes? You know, are you bilingual? Do you have the skill set? Are you ready to boss up and rise? Is this training the right fit for you? Is this career the right fit for you? I know that many of you guys are still struggling and having these challenges, but you know, those of you that have signed up for my Boss Up and Rise strategy call, you know, you come to find out that it was just a little tweaking here and there to start growing your business. Those of you who don't have any knowledge about the industry, but you're bilingual and you want to tap into this industry, then I invite you to join my introduction to interpreting, where I cover all aspects of the language service agency, how to start, what you need. We go over, you know, terms and conditions and terminology, and really just guiding you to make sure that you're prepared to be able to enter this industry. The Boss Up and Rise online platform, that basically covers all aspects of, you know, working one-on-one with me, seeing where you're at, what you need, what we need to incorporate, what things we need to either tweak or implement, what strategies we need to incorporate into your business so that you can start, grow, and launch your business the right way. Because just like with any industry, there's risk involved. In our industry, remember, we are providing a service. We are the voice, and our job is to provide the services to interpret accurately to the LEPs, and their life and future depends on what service we provide and how we provide those services. So if we screw up on the interpretation, we're pretty much putting that person's life at risk, livelihood at risk. Therefore, it's super important that you know, that you enter and that you do a business that you love, and that you're going to be willing to invest in not only money, but invest your time in that training and development to get the skills and the experience that you need in order to provide the best service possible. Because, you know, being in business for 22 years, it's not easy. It's not an easy task. And many of you who have been starting all these different, you know, side hustles or businesses, because one thing doesn't work, so let me try another thing, and you're kind of going back and forth, or you have gone to this training and that training and they've told you this and that. If you do your due diligence and you actually do your research, you're going to find out that a lot of these online gurus, quote unquote, they've either just started their business and they're kind of just, you know, faking it till they make it, bottom line. And you know, some of them become very successful faking it till they're making it. But this is an industry, this is a service that can affect someone's life. So it's very important that you really understand the ins and outs, that you really do your due diligence, that you really get the right training and development and the skill sets and the experience and the qualifications that you need in order for you to provide the right services to the client. Because you want ongoing long-term clients. You don't want those clients once in a moon type of clients, right? Most of my clients that I have, they've been with me for 22 years, and I am so grateful for them that they've stuck along with me, that they value my services, that they value the work that I provide to them, that their clients, more importantly, are happy with the services that I provide. And that is what I teach you. I teach you customer service. You know, if you have the right customer service skills, how to respond to those questions, how to promote yourself the right way, then you're going to land the right clients for years to come. And so that's basically what you need. You know, you want to have those long-term clients. So the last thing that I want to share with you is that, you know, if you're not willing to invest those 5 figures into my top tier program that provides you with all the ins and outs, then I invite you to, you know, maybe explore the membership program. Those programs are going to go up coming here at the end of the month. So make sure that you lock in your rate now. But the Interpreter Cafe is more for those that are interested in pursuing a career as a professional interpreter and need basic training. And these are online modules and lessons. These are done at, you know, as self-paced base. You have access to this platform 24/7. And those of you that are already in business but need help, maybe, you know, changing or tweaking or deciphering your business, and I'm talking about the business aspect of it, the administration, the sales and marketing, the billing, then I invite you to join the Entrepreneur Cafe, where you can build on those business skills to help you start, grow, and decipher your business. Again, these are all basic information, but they're very helpful. They come with forms and templates and step-by-step guides. Versus the other one, the Boss Up and Rise, that's more one-on-one, where basically I'm developing a program for you to really focus on those nitty-gritty items that you need help with. So I really hope that you enjoyed this training. Please don't forget to share, like, comment, and because sharing is caring, right, at the end of the day. So I really hope that you enjoyed the training. I would really love to hear from you, your comments, good, bad, or evil. You know, let's continue to boss up and rise. Let's continue to pivot, even with these you know, with the whole pandemic going on, there's still room for growth. So see you on the other side, and let's boss up and rise.